Hello, welcome to Talking Trades, the weekly podcast where we talk about comics so you don't have to. I'm Jeremy, I'm a DC fan.
I'm John, I'm a Marvel nut.
And I'm Matt. And did you know that when Joe DiMaggio played for the New York Yankees, he was a big fan of reading Superman? However, he would send other players to the newsstands to buy the comics as to preserve his image.
As what? A non-reader?
I guess as an athlete.
We're in a different world. Comics are way.
Is that Joe DiMaggio? Is that Joe DiMaggio? Everyone knows that people who like do sports can't be
some
readers.
kind of bookworm?
Oh. What is he, some kind of woman? You know what? Actually, now that I say it out loud, they probably would have said that about him.
Yeah, they probably would have made fun of him.
Poor Joe.
Been like, oh, this guy's a nerd.
Hey, this guy likes reading.
Let's get him.
In honor of baseball season coming back, I felt like this one was a good time. Good one to use.
I agree. I like that fact. I didn't know that. It's very cool. Yep. Where did you go, Joe DiMaggio? Jolton Joe's up and run away. Hey. That's a very cool fact, Matt, and I didn't know that, and it makes me happy to hear that one of the greatest baseball players of all time, playing for one of the worst baseball teams of all time, liked one of the best superheroes of all time.
Yeah.
That's right. I said it. The Yankees suck. Go Sox. Let's get into This Week in Geek.
This Week in Geek.
This Week in Geek, we have some news, guys. There's something on the horizon. And what is that coming? Oh, it looks like that's Fate on the way?
Yes, we have. So we have a heavy heaping of news coming at you.
It's been piling up for a little bit.
Because, we took a couple breaks and Snyder cut. You get it. You get it.
And if you don't get it, shut up.
But yes, Dr. Fate. Jeremy loves him. I loves him. We already know he's going to show up in the Black Adam film.
I just think he's neat.
He is neat. And,
I just think he's neat.
And my favorite version of Dr. Fate is when he was the helm was being used by Zatanna in Young Justice, because that was super cool. But
that was cool, and I have definitely seen it.
We'll get to Zatanna stuff in just a second. Pierce Brosnan. You know him. He has one really good.
The stepdad from Mrs. Doubtfire.
And has one amazingly good James Bond movie. Some argue would be one of the best.
GoldenEye.
Hey, so as a joke, let's say that Jeremy hasn't watched any of the James Bond movies that he's in. Which one is the good one?
GoldenEye is literally the only one you should watch.
GoldenEye is
cool.
Amazing.
Like every other one is genuinely bottom tier.
It has one of the best villains.
Dr. Fate fights Boromir.
Yeah, one of the top tier villains with Sean Bean. You have, I forget the actress's name, but she plays Jean Grey in the original X-Men movies.
Oh, I should know this off the top of my head.
You absolutely should. Turns around and looks at all the Dark Phoenix stuff on his wall.
Famke Janssen. I did. I just turned around. Famke Janssen's her name.
And then, of course, you have Boris.
Maybe it's Janssen. I forget, but it's...
Who is invincible.
So, Dr. Fate going to be played by Pierce Brosnan. That's right. Remington Steele himself.
Yep.
I'm still going with stepdad from Mrs. Doubtfire. But yes, that's very cool. But Matt, that's all well and good. But I don't care if he's playing or not playing. I want to know when I can see the movie.
You will be able to see Black Adam. You will be able to see Dwayne The Rock Johnson in all of his nerdy goodness. July 29th, 2022.
That's so much closer than I would have thought.
When we did
2022?
Yeah.
That's next year. That's so soon.
That's crazy soon, considering we only got like concept art at Fando.
Yeah, when we did that episode, right? We thought ballpark probably 8 years away, right? Nope.
I mean, I definitely thought like if there was a plan, phase 2 of said plan.
Yep, he is. Black Adam's coming. We're going to be going to Kahndaq. I'm very excited.
As you should.
I
That's awesome.
am very hyped for that movie. I am hyped to see Dr. Fate. A lot of people are kind of on the fence about it, but like, I imagine Pierce Brosnan isn't going to be like in full Dr. Fate mode. I'm assuming he's going to be the guy who Dr. Fate takes possession of.
Well, he's also
know.
not like the star of the movie, so
Yeah.
He could be Dr. Fate at that point.
Yeah. Point is,
We will see.
Black Adam is a coming, and I am excited.
I'm excited too, but I'm also excited for another movie that's coming out, and that is The Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman by Matt Reeves. I think all three of us on this show are at least partially interested in that movie. And I can't wait for it to happen. But we now know that it's going to happen because they finished filming. Filming has wrapped. They are in editing mode now. That is huge. That means it's coming soon. Probably
Soon,
tomorrow.
TM.
God, wouldn't that be great?
I'm very excited for it. I also saw that it officially takes place on Earth 2.
Yes.
No way.
So it is
They
not
confirmed
They have
connected.
announced, they have
Yeah.
announced that it takes place on Earth 2.
So there's still a chance for the Snyderverse?
There
There
is
is
still a
still a
chance for these.
There's still a
Wow.
chance that the Superman project
Could take place on Earth 2.
on Earth 2.
Oh,
Which-
let's go.
I like that. I like that they're admitting that they're going to be using the multiverse. We've said it before. Use that. That is such a strength that DC has.
Exactly. That's such a cool thing that they have that Marvel is now dipping into, but historically has really been a DC thing.
DC's had this locked and loaded for 50 years, where this is something that they've had in their back pocket ready to go. To actually be able to do it in a way that works you could just, if the people going to the movie know, oh, this is Earth 2, like I don't have to worry about, this affecting my Christopher Nolan movies or whatever. I'm using that as an example. That's awesome. People are going to be excited about that.
Yeah.
And the people who don't care, who don't actually pay attention, are just going to see a cool movie. This is genius. And they should have been doing this from the start.
I think a lot of this has to do, honestly, with the success of Joker.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
fact
see
that,
that.
like, hey, this is just not related. It's just a movie about a character. Like, who's to say where it is? Like, I
Well,
think
then you can
that
let
doing
your
well
cool
opened a lot of
directors come
doors.
in. You can let your fun directors come in and direct whatever they want then.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how awesome is that? Hey, we have so-and-so wants to come in and direct a Superman movie. Cool. That will affect nothing and we can do it and people will enjoy it. I love it.
Right.
Great
You
idea.
can, and that way you can use some of those really popular stories. Like, I think one of the last ones we did,
Final Crisis.
Superman Red Sun,
Popular.
right? Would be awesome to see.
God.
Um,
On live screen
like that
with
movie,
John Hamm playing Superman.
that entire that I know Red Sun is like a big one. But it would be cool just,
Mhm.
acknowledging that.
Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, it's out there.
It's possible.
Yeah.
The door
Yes,
is
I'm very
open.
interested. The other thing that is possible is that Avatar will never die.
Yeah.
How in the absolute hell does this keep happening? Avatar, for those who don't know, Avatar just took back the
James Cameron movie Avatar.
Yes.
No, Avatar.
Not The Last Airbender.
The other thing is called Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is just, which I hate this movie so much, and this is making me hate it more. Avatar just took back.
It was aggressively fine.
It's Dancing with Wolves, man. It bugs me. Anyway, it took over the top spot again, beating Endgame because China was like, we love this movie.
Yep. They re-released it again because Disney.
Don't worry, if you think Endgame won't see another theatrical
Yeah.
release,
Like, I would imagine, right? If
it's just going to go back and forth until people realize that Avatar is fine. And then Endgame's just going to get there.
like you gotta believe like Disney, once this pandemic does eventually wind down and theaters open up again, let's release our biggest movie. Let's release Endgame so fans can have something to, enjoy and cheer about and things of that nature. Like, I think it would be brilliant. I would love to see Endgame in a theater again, especially with a crowd that's similar to the midnight crowd. Oh, that'd be so much fun.
I think that was something
Absolutely.
special we'll never get again. But, like, yes, I would love to see the movie in a theater.
2 years without a Marvel movie. And
Crazy.
they're gonna absolutely do that. It'll be great.
Yep.
But that all this Avatar talk is one thing, and it upsets me to my core because that movie is so mediocre. But John, I want you to talk about the next thing on our news list that makes me very excited. Marvel is introducing a new Captain America. John,
Yes.
talk to me about it.
They're starting a new series in, I think, June called The United States of Captain America. The series in general is going to take different people who have been inspired by Captain America and Steve Rogers and how they're kind of like their own Captain America. How they're living up to the ideal of Captain America and in their own way and doing the good that they can. And issue 1 kicks off with Aaron Fisher, the Cap of the Railway Trains. That's a Cats joke.
Is it?
It is, because there's a whole song about Scrimbleshanks, the cat of the railway trains.
Oh,
And
God,
he's genuinely, Aaron Fisher is genuinely the Captain America of the railway trains and like Runaways. Like that's how they
Thanks.
pitched it,
Thanks. I hate it.
right? But I love it. And so he's the first gay Captain America and deals largely with...
So hold on. You
I buried
ran
the lead
right over
super
that.
hard.
Yeah. Can you say that part again, please?
Yes, I can. He's the first gay Captain America.
First openly gay. Like it's not even.
Yes.
It's not. It's very, very open.
Yep. And
That's
he
awesome.
he will be the focus of issue 1, and he will have an ongoing narrative kind of after the main issue of the rest of the series. I think it's a limited series, like 6-ish issues. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah. We love inclusion on this show, and we love Captain America. Well, John loves Captain America. Matt and I enjoy Captain America. I would definitely say John is the Cap stan on the show, but we all love positive inclusion of people of different backgrounds. And who better to represent the actual America than Captain America? Cap is the best. Cap is not a nationalist. Cap is not a traditionalist. He is America, the people, and the spirit. He does not care about the corporations and the politicians. He might be the most American superhero of all time. And I'm including Superman in that conversation.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly. You've all seen Winter Soldier. You get it.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's the man.
He's great, man.
Hey, this is wrong.
it's-
We should burn it down. Yeah, all right. Let's go.
It's awesome. And I'm very excited they're doing this. And I will that might be a book that I have to pick up a physical copy of.
Same.
On top of the, is it coming out for Pride Month?
It's the first issue release is June 2nd. So it will
Is
be
June
out.
Pride Month?
Yes. June's Pride Month.
Okay. So to go along with Pride Month, then to the next bit of news that's not in our chat here, but I have it. DC Comics is releasing Pride Month related covers. So they're heroes that are among the, and this is my new favorite way to say someone is LGBTQ, part of the Alphabet Mafia.
I love it.
Isn't
I love
that
it so
awesome?
much.
I think it's so cool. I think it's so
Never
cool.
heard that.
You never heard that?
No,
It's
that's amazing.
LGBTQIA. So it's the Alphabet Mafia. I think it's amazing. So DC is releasing covers for their Alphabet Mafia characters. So like one of the covers is Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy in like a loving embrace. Another one is like Midnighter and his husband, who I swear to God can never remember the name of. And I
I'm
feel
sure
terrible.
he has one. I have no
He
idea
does.
what it is.
I just cannot remember it for the life of me. But they're doing all these covers of their Alphabet Mafia characters, and I'm very excited. I'm gonna have to buy the what's it called? Harley Quinn Poison Ivy one because it's
Isn't
really
Nightwing
great.
getting a cover too?
Nightwing is also getting covered. He is not LGBTQ, but he has the pride flag behind him. It's a Nightwing. It's the Nightwing book. So his alternate cover has the pride flag behind him, which is cool.
Yeah, while he's doing tricks.
Yeah. So it's not just. You're right. Thank you for pointing that out, John. It's not just LGBTQ characters. It's LGBTQ inclusion on, I believe, most of their books. Not every single one of the books, but a lot of their books that have inclusion. So that's great.
I mean, he could be bi or pan or something.
He could. It just hasn't been addressed as of yet. I don't want to say he is, and it has never come up, but he absolutely could be. Absolutely could be. It just has not been said in the books yet.
And if he isn't, well, he's still, he's an ally. Like, there's no way Dick Grayson is not an ally.
I think the whole Bat family is an ally because, I mean, you don't have the amount of... Bruce Wayne absolutely could be a radical, Republican right-winger libertarian, but he's not. He's down with inclusion.
Yeah.
Because they have Batwoman. They have they've had other characters in the Alphabet Mafia too, I believe, in the Bat family. But that's neither here nor there. Just very exciting. Pride Month's coming up. We'll have to share those covers on our Instagram. Another interesting new couple that's happening, Matt. The Teen Titans. There's some gossip going on the Teen Titans Tower. What's going on?
So it's been a fanship since
ever?
Yeah, it feels like since the world was born, right? Raven and Beast Boy. You always saw.
And on the 8th day, God shipped Raven and Beast Boy.
But until just recently, it has actually been a thing. DC Comics has acknowledged that Raven and Beast Boy are, in fact, an item. And there's a nice little picture that IGN posted of them. And it's fun. It's fun that they.
Now, how long until they break up and it's a big issue?
I'll give it a while.
You're probably going to get at least an arc out of it, so 6 months.
Arc. I'm going to say you get two or three.
They get to the Batman, the wedding, and then they break it up.
Ugh! Do not remind me.
Right.
Breaking my heart.
I know. Speaking of heartbreakers, let's talk about the lady in fishnets, the heartbreaker, the woman who has my heart forever.
I mentioned her at the beginning. You know her, you love her. If she's not in your top 5 list of Dick Grayson love interests, you need to rethink your life. Zatanna.
Ironically, she never even crosses that list for me.
That you need to rethink your life. Zatanna, she's
all
got.
I'm gonna have to say, no, hold on. All I'm gonna say about Zatanna is Yarem M, which is marry me backwards because that's how she casts her spells, and I hope it works. Fingers crossed, boys.
Well, she's getting her own movie. It's been announced by DC. Zatanna movie's in the works. It is simply just been confirmed. We don't have an actress. We don't have a director. We don't have anything like that tied to the film, but it's happening. And that's cool.
To quote John, I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see a teaser of the cast hanging out drinking cocktails.
That's how it goes.
That is
John, what's that referencing?
Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. We thought the movie was completely dead on arrival. And like not dead on arrival. Like, we thought it was like dead, like never happening. Like, okay. And then she's like, hey, here's the cast.
Yep.
What? In costume. What?
Yeah. It's great.
Oh my God, stop.
It's great. One of these days we're gonna do a fan cast for who should play Zatanna.
Yeah, I was about to say, could do a fan cast for that.
I know my pick.
Who's your pick? Because I have a pick that I need to double check that they are the right age.
My pick would be Camila Mendes. Let's go.
Oh my God, what a good pick.
Let's go.
I'm in love with that pick. I didn't even know I wanted it. I did want it. My pick personally would have been Victoria Justice, who was on the personally, in my opinion, critically underrated Zoe 101 and Victorious and stuff like that on the Nickelodeon when we were kids. She's like 28, I think she is. She's almost in her 30s, like she's about the same age as Matt and I. And I think she'd be perfect as Zatanna. But I also would really, really like Camila Mendes as Zatanna. I'm also fine with, honestly, there's a lot of people that can pick. I just hope they don't pick a generic white blonde actress. Like, let's throw some diversity in here. Zatanna is absolutely like Romani or Eastern European. You could do a lot here.
Both of your guys' picks are really good. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But there is one clear winner.
Okay.
Modern day Betty White. Simply because it's Betty White.
Wait, you're saying just straight up Betty White?
Yeah, make Betty White Zatanna.
I thought you were saying like this person is a modern day Betty White.
Betty White herself. Clearly that joke didn't land.
I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, it'd be hilarious.
That's a lot of sex appeal though on one film. I don't know if you can do that. I think I would have to be NC-17. She's too attractive.
But no, I could see Zendaya being a good.
Zendaya would be good.
A good Zatanna.
I think they got her locked up in Marvel.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Oh, I mean,
That doesn't mean she wouldn't be great.
she's worked with Warner Brothers with Dune, which is coming out at some point this year.
That's true. Hey, I'm okay with that. Honestly, I'm just happy they're making the movie.
But I digress. MODOK, you know him. You love him. They have a
That's
casting.
the transition that MODOK deserves.
They have a casting news, which I am over the moon about. They have casted the series voice actor for Iron Man, and it is, God, one of the most wholesome
Who is
people
it?
in
Who is it?
Hollywood.
Who is it?
It is John Hamm.
Oh my God. From the top
It's
rope.
great.
You don't get much better than John Hamm's voice.
I am so excited to hear.
It's
him
too
play
bad that
Iron
he's
Man.
from Missouri, you know?
Yeah, everybody. Not everybody's perfect.
I agree with that.
But yeah, John Hamm cast in the MODOK show coming to Hulu, which will star Patton Oswalt. He is also producing the show as well. It's going to be fun. We watched the trailer for it that came out like forever ago. It's going to be a good time.
Let's go. Let's just go. Let's do it.
I agree.
That show is done in the exact way that you should do a show for MODOK, because he is, outside of the Avengers game and any comics that I've read, he's just ridiculous.
Yes,
Even within
he
those
is.
In
comments.
the Avengers game, they did a
You
pretty
can't-
good job to
you
make him
cannot
terrifying.
take him
But
Out of that was creepy. I liked that. But MODOK, you can't take him seriously, man.
no, he's got a big old noggin.
He's a giant head.
He is
Yeah.
a giant head.
He's great.
And then we also had 2 trailers come out pretty close together. One I haven't seen.
Hold on real quick before we get to the trailers. Have you guys seen Knives Out?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The girl who plays Marta should play Zatanna.
Ooh.
Ana de Armas.
That'd be good.
She'd be good.
That'd be very
She'd
good.
be good. Go ahead, Matt.
Trailers. We got 2 of them. We got one for The Suicide Squad. And we got one.
God, doesn't that look awesome?
I have yet to see the
It does.
trailer, but
It
Oh,
looks
it's
Matt,
real
hold
good.
on. Matt, we're pausing this recording. I'll let you edit it out later. I'm going to stream it right now to all 3 of us. We're all going to watch it together.
It's really good.
okay. Please hold, listener.
Unbelievable.
I know.
So we'll cut back in now. Well,
Okay.
no, keep talking. I want reactions.
Fun.
So I'm pretty sure something well documented on this podcast, but I was the trailer for the original Suicide Squad was the best trailer I had seen, period, hands down.
It was so good.
And I was horribly let down, as was the movie going audience at large. This one I have much more faith in, and I am way more excited to see the movie. I think it has a significantly and drastically higher floor in terms of quality.
Yeah.
I'd agree.
Who would have thought that Idris Elba would be one of our main characters? Because he clearly is going to be one of the main characters.
Yeah, he is.
I wouldn't have thought that.
No.
I'm very excited. And God, give me more Margot Robbie and everything. Thank
That's what I'm
God
saying.
they continue to give her stuff.
She's very talented.
She's
Mhm.
so good. I'm very excited.
I'm also glad to see Harley in black and red.
Yeah.
That's very
Yes.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's like when she makes her big transition too. Like when you see like the hair, like stuff. Like I'm excited like for her to become like a more her own thing rather than just the Joker's thing. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
Big fan. Big fan.
And then narratively, because my whole thing too was, well, how are you gonna? Because Birds of Prey ended, she's on her own, independent. She's a mercenary. How do you then have her back in the Suicide Squad? It's like, well, if she gets captured and then they go to save her and she gets roped in, like that makes sense. Like it,
Mhm.
they're kind of making it work. I'm hoping that James Gunn was at least afforded where she is at the end of Birds of Prey to go off of, without necessarily like every.
I would
beat of
hope
Birds
so,
of Prey.
right?
I would hope so, but I don't know what's going on at DC, man.
No, nothing's going on DC. They're morons. I like that Sylvester Stallone's playing King Shark.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to see
Yes,
Sly.
that is your hand.
Very good.
The comment about the beach and the bag of phallic items.
Mhm,
Oh my God.
mhm.
John Cena, I respect you so much. Do more movies. You're great.
Amanda Waller looks like how I feel. I'm very excited.
Yes. Matt, what was the other trailer that dropped?
The other trailer was the trailer for the Disney Plus show Loki, which is going to be happening, I believe, in June. It looks
June
fun.
They're going to address the timeline. Like, oh my God, they absolutely didn't have to, but they're gonna.
Yep.
I love it.
And show favorite Owen Wilson will be a big part of it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Oh wow. So you're like your brother's the god of thunder? Oh wow.
You messed up the timeline by taking the Tesseract. Wow.
Oh wow. You're very intelligent, aren't you? Wow.
Fans saw you die in one of the movies recently. Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Wow. Fate is inevitable, right? Wow. Oh, that's right. What other news do we have, gentlemen?
Lastly, we've been talking about Joss Whedon versus Ray Fisher. Apparently, he's not the only one on the set of Justice League that he has mistreated. Per an unnamed source, Joss Whedon reportedly threatened Gal Gadot's career. He refused any sort of criticism regarding his script for the Justice League. He said, and the anonymous source says, he told her that he's the writer and she's going to shut up and say the lines, and he can make her look incredibly stupid in this movie.
Now,
So once
here's the
again, Joss Whedon.
here's the thing. If you're going after someone's career, you go after Ray Fisher. And it's wrong. It's wrong to do that. But Ray Fisher, compared to Joss Whedon, is on a different level. And, I'm sure the bad guy could have gotten away with it, right? But you're attacking Gal Gadot, a known commodity in Hollywood that everyone loves. Like, the hubris on this scumbag.
Yeah.
To go after one person, let alone to go after the entire movie, and then to refuse to look at his own wrongdoings, I hope Joss Whedon is done.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder, right? If he's treating his stars like that, what about the other staffers? You know what I mean? How does he treat those people?
The guy who treats the CEO like the janitor, what a scumbag.
Mm-hmm. If Warner Brothers and the DC corporate part of this were smart, they would address this. They would immediately cut all ties with him.
But Matt, you just said the thing. If they were smart, they screwed up Harry Potter. They screwed up the DC universe. Warner Brothers does not have the smart guys on staff.
And then they could also open up a legitimate formal apology to Ray Fisher because they because
they're going to apologize to it. No way are they going to do that. They're scumbags.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it's the bare minimum.
It is literally
no.
minimum.
You misunderstand. I am not saying it's the wrong thing. I'm saying it will not happen because scumbags are going to scumbag.
It's clear that he's mistreated people on set, and that's not something that should be stand for. That's not something that we should allow. That should be, it's show business. Like, no, I don't care how much money they're making. You treat people
still give
nice.
Christian Bale flack for the thing he did when he was yelling at the guy for messing up the take.
Yeah,
and that is on a much smaller level.
Yeah. Yep.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Also wrong, but yes, on a much smaller level.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure Christian Bale apologized for it.
Yeah, he did the bare minimum, which God forbid, right? Anyway, I'm not holding out hope for an apology, but they need to. Because Ray Fisher should get off of the blacklist. The man deserves to work. He's very talented, and it's not he was in the right.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of proving that fact.
Yep.
Yep. And everyone is known for 4 years that Joss Whedon's script was trash.
Yeah, very much.
Because we have Snyder Cut, which is the same basic story with, I'm sure, as initially was intended, added to it. And hey, it works. It's great. It's great.
Oh, what a concept.
Yeah. Other than that, though, I don't know if we've talked about Black Widow got delayed again, but it got delayed again. Of course it did.
Got delayed again. But it will be coming out on it'll be coming out on Disney Plus, just like they did with Mulan, and it'll be in theaters. I refuse to put my money into the Disney Plus thing. I may go see it in theaters because I am fully vaccinated, and I may try to go like a really early showing on like a weekday or something. I don't know. I might try to just get there when nobody else is there and be super careful. But I do not want to. I don't want to give Disney Plus the idea that they're right.
Yes, all of us will be fully vaccinated at that time.
I just don't want to give Disney Plus the idea that they're doing the right thing by making those purchases because I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like it as if you're going to put it in theaters as well,
but not for $30, and then you don't even own it.
It's a part of your subscription though. Like it's
like if you're going to buy it for $30, fine, but you're getting it for $30. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is a bit. But at the same time, a night out at the movies can cost more than that.
I agree, absolutely. But I'm paying for that experience. It's me sitting at my house with my mediocre internet. I don't want to pay that money. And that's just me. All I'm saying is I'm voting with my wallet. That's all.
Yeah, I totally get that. I was just playing devil's avocado.
Absolutely. All right, let's hop into the book this week in the pull list.
Yeah.
Here's your pull list.
This week on the pull list, we are reading What Are You Doing?
The Beginning of Rock of Ages by Def Leppard, you silly.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
I just know it as From Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
That's what I was going to say.
That's the kind of person I am.
Yes, we are reading DC's Rock of Ages.
Yes, we are.
We are reading DC's Rock of Ages, written by Grant Morrison. And the art for this book is done by Howard Porter. John Dell is our inker. Pat Garrity is our colorist. And Hen Lopez is our letterer. This book is one that was highly recommended to a lot of people when Kevin Smith read it on his Fat Man on Batman podcast. It's one of the better DC books out there. It's a really good Justice League of America book, and I was very excited we got to read it on the podcast. Well, I say we. 2/3 of us have read it. John gets to hear about it for secondhand. He gets to hear about how great it is secondhand, and then I do recommend John going back to check it out because it is a very good book.
It is fun. It's a fun book, and yeah.
I had the schedule mixed up in my head, so
you know what? It happens. It happens,
and honestly, that's not even close to the worst thing that happened in the last 48 hours. So everything's great.
Yeah.
This book opens up with the Justice League destroying a town, Central City to be honest, or Star City. Star City?
Star
One
City.
of the cities.
Star
City, thank you. But wait a second. That's not the Justice League. That's some strange purple Justice League. And they're destroying the town. They're killing people, like straight up killing people. The actual Justice League watchtower is being watched over by Martian Manhunter and Aztec. And Aztec is a person who I'm very unfamiliar with, but he was created by the Q Corporation, which, like, boy, oh boy, does that have a different meaning now in 2021. Right?
Yikes.
Remember when Q was just a zany letter?
Yeah, I believe the Q in this case was Quetzalcoatl, which is the Aztec god of
like the sun? Is it sun?
Sun god, yes.
Something, yeah.
But I believe that's what the Q represented here because he Aztec Quetzalcoatl, that would make sense. He's like, hey, you guys, there's stuff happening. Justice League, go. So the Justice League goes and they're fighting their counterparts. And you have all the Justice League people here. But this Justice League is Batman, regular Batman, Blue Lightning Superman, which, like, we'll get there. Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern. I forget the Green Arrow's name. Oliver's son.
Connor Queen.
Connor, thank you. Connor Queen. You have Wally West as the Flash. Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, and then Aztec. That is your Justice League
Wonder Woman
of America
isn't
in this book.
there.
No, but she's in the Justice League at this point. Is my point.
Yeah,
like she's on the current team.
Yeah, but at this point, they assume she is dead.
Yes, and I don't remember what killed her.
Spoilers.
I forget what
It's literally
killed
mentioned
her
right
in the
at the
previous volume. It
Well,
is.
I didn't read it, Matthew.
Well, excuse me, we're doing a
Whose fault is
podcast
that,
on a book,
Mine, Jeremy.
which is like a spoiler cast. How am I the
I'm
bad
getting
guy?
more defensive. I know it's my fault, but I'm going to get more defensive. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So the Justice League is fighting off the anti-Justice League, these strange creatures. And as they're fighting them, they realize that these aren't corporeal beings. These are these things that are made of what's called hard light.
Hard light.
And what that is they have like physical representation, like they can be touched, they can be felt, but they are purely made of photons. They are made of light reflecting off. They are not actually carbon or otherwise based life forms. So they realize this, and then Batman's like, open season, now we murder. Like he straight up uses like guns against these guys because he can, because they're not people. You can kill things that aren't people, and that's totally fine.
Yeah, we saw him do it to how many
Parademons?
Parademons, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's in the Snyder cut. So he goes up, they're fighting. They end up destroying these hard light creatures. But this is a great part of the book. This is Grant Morrison at his best. A guy comes out of the rubble and is like, hey, you guys are just going to leave now? Yeah, you beat the bad guys, but what the hell? Like, we have to sit here and rebuild. And Kyle Rayner's like, yeah, hey, man, I'm sorry. We were just doing our best. I'm just a guy with a ring. He's like, yeah, you are. Why don't you give me the ring? Maybe I could do better. You guys are worthless. And Batman's like, you give me Batman. But the guy brings up a good point. Like, superheroes come, they wreck stuff, they leave. Right? Good intentions, but there's aftermath to be dealt with by these people.
It sounds like the plot of another comic that I just can't put my finger on.
Civil War II.
Nah.
That's right. I mentioned it. They are trying to find the source of this light. And so Kyle Rayner flies up into the sky with his super cool Green Lantern powers because he's the best Green Lantern. Fight me. And he flies right up to a satellite. And the satellite is horrifying. It's got like a skull around it. It's very creepy looking. But he doesn't see it because it's being masked by some kind of strange mental skullduggery. But inside this satellite is Lex Luthor and essentially the Legion of Doom. And this Legion of Doom is all of the bad guys for the various superheroes, and we'll get to them in the next issue. But he's like, good, they can't see us. Good, our hard light bad guys are definitely working. This is good. We're going to destroy the world. And they killed them.
And the only thing is like they made their name somehow even more goofy than the Legion of Doom.
The
coming
Injustice
at you
Gang.
with the Injustice Gang.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Like, this was the 90s, and there was a lot of gangs are bad in the 90s.
True.
What? That sounds vaguely racist.
Hey, that's what it is, man.
It sure is. So Green Lantern doesn't find anything. He's like, I don't know where these things came from. We'll keep looking at it. Lex Luthor's like, good, I have this rock in my hand. I'm so evil. Martian Manhunter's flying around space using his original form, like he's more Martian-y. He's like, oh, I'll figure out what's going on. Uh-oh, guys, there's something coming for Earth. We're in huge trouble. Oh, my God. The Justice League's like, we will figure it out. Issue ends.
Yes.
What if Kyle threw like 15 feet to the right and just bumped into this?
Right? That's what I was thinking is what if he just kind of, drifted a little bit and just, oop, I bumped into nothing.
Lex Luthor's like in there. He's like, no, his vision's based on movement. Don't move.
Confirmed.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. That would have been very funny. I would have loved to see that.
Tyrannosaurus Rex confirmed.
Oh, that makes sense because he's the coolest Green Lantern. We then have issue 2 of Rock of Ages. Opens with Lex Luthor talking about his plan and how he's the best and he's the greatest and blah, 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 blah. But we see his actual Injustice Gang. And his Injustice Gang is Dr. Light, Mirror Master, Joker, Lex Luthor, Cersei, and Ocean Master. Actually, one of the better Legion of Doom and Justice Gang like group setups. Like this is a good rogues gallery here.
Yeah,
like, these are all like good villains. The only one I didn't like is Dr. Light, and that's because he's a rapist, and I don't like him. This is also before he was a canonical rapist, so like they were trying to actually use him in the comics, so it made sense.
Ocean Master.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, Ocean Master looks great.
Ocean Master looks awesome.
Well, and they give him some actual story here. Like he holds that trident that he holds, and if he lets go of it, it causes him agonizing pain. Like that's it, but like it gives him a lot of power, so it's like a catch-22. It's really cool. Cersei looks great too. Lex Luthor's like going over his plan, and Joker's like, "I'm super crazy." Lex Luthor backhands him, and Joker's like, "Haha, I'm working for you, but only because you're going to give me Batman." Which makes sense. Like, there's no reason the Joker would ever have an alliance with anybody except for if he could guarantee that he would get Batman out of it. So they wrap that little plot point up very fast. I like that he did that. I like that Grant Morrison was like, I'm going to acknowledge this. I know it makes no sense. Let me make sense real fast. They go over their plan over and over again. And Ocean Master's like, yes, I'm going to take some of the Atlantic Ocean and I'm going to move it because I'm the Ocean Master. Don't worry about
master
it making
the
sense.
ocean as Ocean
Pretty
Master.
You'll never be Ocean Master. The Justice League is talking about, hey, what's going on? This is crazy. We're on the moon, on their moon base. And their moon base is like, well, we got to figure this out. One of those evil Justice Leaguers is running around. It's the evil Aquaman. And he's making the water appear other places. This is weird. Basically, like, this is a lot of MacGuffin set up to get to the actual story of Rock of Ages. The Justice League's like, all right, we got to go out. We got to figure this out. So Superman and Martian Manhunter take off to go look for a thing. Green Lantern, Flash, and Aquaman go to get the water out of the San Fernando Valley. And there's a really great line here where they're like, all right, you guys got to go to the valley and save it. And so Superman says that. And Kyle Rayner goes, ew, why'd I have to get the valley? Grody, which is the most 90s thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
If. Gave me the
that
spin.
line. I was going to say, that line could have come right out of Clueless and it would have been fine.
Yep.
This is 1998. It very well may have.
Yep. That decade. Such a good one.
Is it? No. It's got its high points and its low points. The team of Superman and Martian Manhunter use Martian Manhunter's telepathic abilities to find the satellite, and they're investigating the satellite. Back up at the Justice League Watchtower, after saving the San Fernando Valley, Aquaman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Green Arrow are working, and they
Green Arrow doesn't go back.
Green Arrow does not go back. Neither does Green Lantern, but Green Lantern will. So it's Flash and it's Aquaman and Aztec are talking on the Watchtower, and Metron shows up. And Metron is one of the new gods. He's a new god of New Genesis. He sits in this chair, this Mobius chair. And this Mobius chair, what it does is if he sits in it, he has all knowledge of everything. Very cool. And he's like, hey, just so you guys know, if Lex Luthor gets the Philosopher's Stone, this thing, it's going to bring Darkseid here and we're all in trouble. So you got to find it first. And they're like, yes, of course. Sounds good. We will do the thing. Very cool. Meanwhile, Superman and Martian Manhunter are exploring the satellite, and they get to go into a visual representation of the Joker's mind.
Yeah.
This is a really cool section. Matt, I want you to talk about this. I figured you'd be all about this.
Real quick, I just want to address the line from Joker. It's kinky. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Joker's controlling it turns out that this is not the real satellite. Joker is controlling this satellite because he can, because space and wizardry. I don't know. But Matt, talk about this visual representation of the Joker's mind.
So it is pure chaos. He creates a maze, and anybody in their right mind would not be able to navigate said maze. It is a large labyrinth. Everything is mirrors, which I thought, Mirror Master would come into play, but he doesn't show up. And Martian Manhunter is like, okay, the only way to get through this is to be unhinged like the Joker.
He reshapes the different lobes and like quadrants of his brain.
Yeah, I'm going to reshape
take
my
down
brain
rationalism
and up. What was it? It starts.
It's like he enlarges the irrational side and he takes down the analytical side.
Yeah, and he guides Superman through this maze, and Superman's like, "Hey, are you sure you know what you're doing?" And Martian Manhunter's sitting there, and he sounds nuts. He starts laughing and stuff, but eventually they get to the end of the maze, just by following Martian Manhunter and seeing, where it takes him.
When Martian Manhunter does this, he sees like arrows that go, here's the way through.
Yeah.
Like, here's a straight path through. And Superman's like, I would have never seen this because I was using, he's like, yeah, no, your brain was shaped like a normal person. So of course you would have never seen this.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I thought that part was really cool.
And so they get to the end and they find a CD player.
Again,
That's
it was the 90s.
It was the 90s.
Yes.
Great time.
We'll get back to that in just a minute. Cutting back over to Earth, Green Arrow and Green Lantern, who are the newest members of the Justice League at the time, they're the youngest members of Justice League at the time, are sitting in a diner post-rescue of the San Fernando Valley. And they're kind of complaining about, they're treated like kids and they don't trust everybody and they don't want to mess up. And at this diner, Circe is there. And Circe is a sorceress from Greek mythology. This is, according to this book, this is her origin story, is that she's that Circe. And she is like, hey, Green Arrow, I noticed that like you're kind of a whiny little baby. Let me assuage all your fears. You're right. They're wrong. Come with me. Let's go hang out. You can come join my group. And she actually brings him to the Injustice Gang. And Lex Luthor's like, that's cool. You can hang out here if you give me the codes to transport things onto the Justice League Watchtower. And Green Arrow's like, I'm so angsty and my dad's dead. And it's definitely Superman's fault that my dad's dead. I will join your team. I'm the bad guy now. I paraphrased a little, but like I feel like I nailed it, right, Matt?
Yeah, almost, almost shot for shot.
Verbatim.
We
do see, as this is happening, we do see a little bit of, go ahead.
Words of the page directly to your ears.
Yes. So as this is happening, we do see a little bit of what the stone that Lex has is this like, it's not just a stone, it's not just a rock. This thing can take weird shapes and shows different paths going forward. This is a very, we don't know what this is yet, but this is, we will later find out, is the Philosopher's Stone. It is a piece of the original source material of the universe, and it's very, very powerful. Back in New York, Matches Malone, who is a very well-known alias of Batman when he needs to work in the criminal underground, goes and talks to Plastic Man and recruits Plastic Man for something we will see later. The Justice League members get their jobs done. Flash and Aquaman are talking to Metron. At this point, the Green Lantern does... we're going to get there. They're talking to Metron. He's like, yeah, no, we got to do the thing. I'm definitely a good guy. And then they have like a panel where he like is looking slyly over his shoulder, clearly showing us that he's not a good guy. What? And we also see the alien briefly that Lex is using to mind control, to using their telepathic powers, which we never find out the alien's name. We don't really find out his motives, but he's kind of in a drugged fugue state, and Lex is just using his powers to his benefit. This issue ends with Robin talking about, oh, hey, it's crazy that Lex Luthor is trying to do all this cool stuff, but he doesn't know who he's up against. Somebody who's really into corporate espionage. And then Batman's like, that's right. It's me, Bruce Wayne. I do corporate espionage. Which, like, cool?
Yeah.
Was that necessary? No, but like, it was cool.
It didn't work in Iron Fist. It barely works here.
Right. It ends the issue, and we move on to issue 3 of Rock of Ages, where we actually get into the Rock of Ages. Green Lantern at this point does come back. He's kind of like wandering around, but he does come back to the Watchtower at the exact point that Aquaman and Flash are sent by Metron into like other dimensions to try to find the Philosopher's Stone, the thing that's going to stop Darkseid. If Lex gets this, Darkseid wins. You have to find this before Lex. That's what Metron keeps telling them. We will later find out that this is not really Metron. It is an evil version of Metron. We'll get there. So they're all three of them are thrown into this, like, it's a spinning void of realities. They're all thrown in there, and they all kind of cycle through a bunch of them. But we only see Green Lantern. And Green Lantern talks about how he was in this one universe where he fought this bad guy. That he's another universe where it was there to keep him sedated. It was beautiful women and everything he ever wanted and all the food he wanted, just to keep him satiated so that he wouldn't keep looking. Another one where he wakes up in a poppy field, very much like Wizard of Oz. And then finally he gets...
Or the Odyssey.
It was very much the Odyssey, right? This was very much the Odyssey. He then lands on a place that is a bunch of superheroes. It's an island where a bunch of superheroes are dead. And their corpses were looking for something. They're all going towards something, but they're all now dead. He's like, that's when I saw the thing. And he's describing all these adventures to this strange robot. And the robot's like, hey, welcome to this place. I'm very small. And he's like, well, you don't look very small. He goes, right, but like, look at the people who are around us. And he points up, and there's these Goliaths on this world. And the world is called Wonder World. And on Wonder World, everyone is like thousands of feet tall. So Kyle's like, oh, we are tiny. This is cool. On Wonder World, he does find his friends, Aquaman and the Flash. And while they're there, they discover that Wonder World is at the edge of time and space. Outside of Wonder World is essentially what we now know as what would be like the anti-world, the anti-sun, like the dark multiverse, that kind of stuff. But we're at the source wall at this point. So like, oh, we got to get back. As this is happening, Lex and Joker are like making their plans. What are they going to do? How are they going to kill the Justice League, kill Superman, blah, blah, blah. Lex has already killed Superman, or Lex kills Superman, or he thinks he does, by blowing up the fake satellite that Superman and Martian Manhunter are on. In the actuality, Superman's new powers, which they don't really describe here, he's able to absorb all of the energy, saving the two of them. It's never explained, but whatever. They're safe. Lex thinks they're dead, so that's good, because now if everyone thinks you're dead, you can sneak. So Superman and Martian Manhunter are going to go sneak in and infiltrate and try to save everybody, blah, blah, blah. Joker is seen bugging the alien that Lex is using. He's keeping drugged and using him for his powers. And now looking back, reading this book, I'm like, oh, I know why the Joker's doing this. But you see that Lex is like, oh, the alien's getting restless. This is weird. The alien's never restless. I don't know why he's like this. Superman and Martian Manhunter start executing their plan to try to go find Lex, because they know Lex is behind this, because it's always Lex, of course. Lex then executes his plan with three of the members of the Justice League gone in a different universe. One of them on his side, which is the Green Arrow, who was brought in and is like, I'm going to help you. And two seemingly dead. Three dead, because Wonder Woman's dead too. He can run the entire world. He's winning. So he calls over to the Justice League Watchtowers like, hey, everyone's dead. Also, you know that corporation Aztec that gave you all your powers? I funded them, so basically I own you, so I can shut you down whenever I want. So here's the deal. I just sent 10 nuclear warheads onto your ship. You need to get off of the ship, because I'm going to come onto the ship and I'm going to steal all the Justice League stuff so I can run the world. It's actually a very good plan for Lex Luthor. I'm very impressed. At the edge of the universe on Wonder World, the three heroes are like, hey, how do we get back? We have to get back. And one of them's like, hey, you could like use the Speed Force and like the thing that Metron got you here with, it might work. And Kyle's like, oh, hey, so let me finish my story. While I was booping around those other worlds, I met this guy and his name was the Hour Man. And Hour Man was like a sentient clock guy. Like he could tell, like he could see time. He was like a chrono wizard or something. I don't know. But he said that we have been betrayed, and it turns out that Metron's evil, and like we have to get back. And if they destroy the Philosopher's Stone on Earth, then Darkseid wins. So we should probably get back. So they go run back using the Speed Force. But here's the thing. It works, but it also kind of doesn't work. So they get back, and for whatever reason, they're not totally real. They're like still light when they get back, but they went 15 years into the future. And in this 15 years ahead of time, the Philosopher's Stone was destroyed. They couldn't stop it in time, and Darkseid took over the Earth, which is super cool because Darkseid is just a great villain. Just before that happens, we do see that Batman has someone on the inside of the Injustice Gang, and that's Mirror Master, because he paid Mirror Master. He gave Mirror Master a bunch of money to the orphanage where he grew up, and blah, blah, blah. He says that never underestimate the gentlemanly. Never underestimate the gentlemanly. What is that? Oh, sentimentality. Sorry. Wow. I'm tired. Never underestimate the sentimentality of a Scotsman, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently it is. But it's funny because Grant Morrison's Scottish, so he can say that. But again, we are now 15 years in the future, and Darkseid has taken over. The second to last book in Rock of Ages is Justice League of America number 14. Yes, is that where we're at? 14?
Yes.
14. So we see this world where Aquaman, Flash, and Green Lantern go into a version of their bodies that are 15 years older. Well, I say they, but Green Lantern doesn't. Green Lantern goes into a random guy's body and takes it over. And they're still kind of in this in-between phase where they're part light, part, old guy bodies, but they're not themselves. And if they don't get off of this timeline soon, they're going to be trapped here forever. So as the old man versions of themselves, they find their cohorts in the Justice League, and they're like, hey, we got to stop Darkseid. What's going on? They do end up finding Diana, and Diana's like, hey, here's what happened. Bruce, they killed Clark. He's dead. They killed Lois. And then when Lois died, Clark killed himself. They killed Martian Manhunter by smashing all of his atoms. They killed the Green Lantern. Desaad tortured Batman for 8 years and killed him. Like, all that's left is Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, basically. So this is the team. The random guy that Green Lantern inhabits is essentially a parademon. He's like, oh yeah, I'm here too. And they're like, cool, I don't know who you are, but that sounds great. If you want to help us, we have to kill Darkseid or something along those lines. But here's the problem. The body that Wally inhabited, the Flash body, they took away his speed force. So now he's just a fat guy. Just a fat guy. Just a chubby ginger.
Yep.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, cool, this is our team. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to say, yeah, it's kind of silly that, Wally West, Flash, he loses the speed force and he just kind of falls into this kind of depressive episode. And he is a stress eater.
Yes. And all around this world, we see posters, and it's just Darkseid's face, and it says Darkseid is. That's all it says. It's very cool. The other member of the team that we meet when they all join back up, when Wonder Woman brings these it's like, all right, hey, why don't you guys come with me? Join me over here. We can try to fix this, and we can start a plan. We meet a couple new characters. We see Amazo, who is a robot who can take over other power. I forget Amazo. He's not super important.
He's a robot who has all the powers of the original Justice League.
That's right. Yes, that's right. We see Oliver's son, the new Green Arrow, who looks a lot closer to Oliver now. Looks great. We see a new Aztec who took over for the previous Aztec. And then we see a bunch of stuff from all of the dead members of the Justice League. So we see Superman's clothes all ripped and torn. We see Robin's clothes all ripped and torn. We see Dr. Fate's helmet has a bullet hole directly in it. We see, let me see here. There's a couple I think Nightwing stuff is here. Yeah, Nightwing stuff is here. Stargirl stuff is here. Black Cat. A bunch of other heroes from the Justice Society of America and Justice League. The last person we get is Ray Palmer as the Atom is here, and he is here to help the Justice League as well. So that's our new Justice League for right now. That's who's here to help. They try to make their plan. Like, all right, here's what we got to do. We got to go. We got to get in. And we got to take out Darkseid. How are we going to do that? Well, we have to run in, basically guns blazing, and start with Desaad. Desaad is a lieutenant. Desaad is the master of torture. We can take him out. They mention that Granny Goodness has transferred herself completely into a grandmother box, which, if you listen to the Snyder Cut, you know that Jeremy is a big Granny Goodness guy.
Yes.
Granny Goodness is amazing. So they rush into, or they're going to rush in and they're going to take out Desaad, and that will help them take down Darkseid. So we see Desaad. We cut over to this realm, and we see Desaad talking to Darkseid, and Darkseid just literally punching the hell out of people. And these people are like, yes, Darkseid, punch me more! Step on me! Like you're a giant vampire lady. They're loving it. They're loving getting hit by Darkseid. Desaad's like, yes, no, you should definitely come here, Darkseid. We need your help. Like, let's finish taking over the Earth. I've done a really good job. Darkseid's like, yeah, no, totally. Sounds great. I'll be there soon. And Desaad has done such a good job at this point that Darkseid gave him all of Las Vegas to run his torture out of. And he's running it out of the Luxor Pyramid, which is super sick. The plan is initiated where they're going to rush in, and they're going to start destroying stuff. They're going to kill Desaad. Let's go. All right, hey, the first wall's down. Cool. Let's go fight some. Oh, there's no enemies. Okay, cool. That's fine. They're probably waiting. The enemies are probably waiting for us around the next corner. They're not here either. Okay, hey, that's fine. We got to get through this big door. Oh, the door opened pretty much on its own, and there's no more enemies. Hey, what's going on here? And the Justice League are like, what? This is too easy, right? This is like way too easy. And then they see Desaad standing at his terminal, and Desaad turns around. And he said, turn around slowly. And at this point, they notice that Ray Palmer, the Atom, is just standing there talking to Desaad. Like, what is going on? Desaad says, 8 years, 4 of them in Desaad's psychofuge, experiencing all the physical and emotional pain of his victims. It ended 2 months ago in a battle of wits. I won. And he turns and he takes his hood off. And it's not Desaad. It's Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne beat Desaad and has taken over Las Vegas and is slowly dismantling all of Darkseid's army from the inside. I lost my mind the first time I read this. Like, what? He's not dead and he's still the coolest guy ever?
Yep.
Like, if you ever were curious if Grant Morrison had like a preference on superheroes, it's Batman. He likes Batman.
Yeah, he's a big,
super apparent,
big Batman fan.
So Batman is now a part of the team. And Matt, what do you think of the suit? How sick is this suit?
I'm a big fan because I saw him getting ready, and I'm like, okay, so his original suit in the before times, the 15 years prior, is very 1989 Batman. With the symbol, the classic Batman. So he's getting all set up, and it's an all black suit with a yellow bat, which reminds me of Batgirl because it's
like gold.
Yeah, like golden, a golden bat. Very similar to like Batgirl's original Batgirl, not Burnside one. And he's also has the pointy shoulders. Like in Flashpoint.
Yeah, it's super sick.
Yeah, he looks great. I like this suit a lot. And I also didn't notice that he was missing 2 fingers as well.
Yes. From torture. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's very, very cool. So this is all super sick. Batman's now part of the team. Get excited. And they're now going to try to take down Darkseid. And Darkseid, they're like, oh, Darkseid's on his way. How long is it going to take him to get here? And Batman's like, no, that's the thing. He's got boom tube technology. He's already here. They're like, what? He's like, yeah, he's here. And he is. He's like
I'd love to see like a commercial, like boom tube. What's that?
Just kind of go.
I'd watch that commercial. Maybe it'll be at the end of the episode.
Maybe.
Wink.
Maybe not. We'll see.
Wink. But the issue ends with you hear, who is your new god now and forever? Boom. And Darkseid steps out and he's wearing all black except for so he wears like a mini skirt. It's he got like thigh high boots and a mini skirt and like a tank top, and it's all black. And his skin is like stone colored. He's got the Omega symbol on his chin. It says Dark Side.
You know what his
It's
clothes?
so sick.
You know who his clothes remind me of is Zap Brannigan.
Yes,
Futurama.
The super short leg skirt.
Yeah, the super short skirt and the high boots and stuff.
Well, you've absolutely
Love
ruined
it.
it for me now. But yes, I 100% agree with you. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. You're 100% accurate.
Zap Brannigan is.
Zip Brannigan is the new leader. We are on issue 14, which is the 5th of 6 parts. And this is going to take place all on the Bad Earth. So, Darkseid has taken over. We now see the extent of his cruelty, and we see the Justice League's new plan. And as this is when you get to see like the Justice League's like, or the Darkseid's, what's it called? The masks that he makes everyone wear. And so the masks are like these metal hands that cover your eyes, and then you see so more hands cover the mouth.
And
so
the
it's like
ears.
completely
It's
covered.
It's
mouth, it's awesome.
terrifying. I hated them. I hate them so much. They're so creepy.
It's so scary. Justice League starts enacting its new plan, which is to attack everybody. They're going to take down Darkseid from the inside. And Metron, evil Metron's there, and he's like, "Yo, hey, we're gods." Darkseid's like, we're totally gods." And the Granny Goodness Mother Box like, "We're going to win." Justice League, honestly, this issue is a lot of fighting. It's really great. And he's just kicking the ever-loving hell out of Wonder Woman and Batman, and everyone's enacting their plans all in the sea. They're fighting and fighting and fighting. And eventually, what happens is the way that they are able to defeat Darkseid is not with straight-up combat, because that's not how you beat Darkseid. He's always going to beat you with combat. But one of the new gods, Orion, sneaks down to where the power for Darkseid is, down below the city, and he's able to destroy it using his new god power. I don't know exactly, but he puts a mother box in there, I believe, a version of mother box, and we see another new god, the Death, the Black Racer, comes and is like, "Hey, gotta be careful. You're doing stuff." He's like, "Yeah." Orion's like, "Yeah, no, I'm totally gonna die here, but I'm willing to die to kill Darkseid." And Darkseid, this is where the hubris comes in, right? He doesn't expect this. He doesn't expect this to happen. So he doesn't have a contingency plan for it. So when the bomb goes off destroying the city, that destroys all of the power that Darkseid has. That's the anti-life equation. So people are like totally going to be free from the anti-life equation at this point, which is going to totally screw up his plans. The issue ends, we cut back, and we see Superman and Martian Manhunter have made it to Lex and are about to destroy the Philosopher's Stone. And as we said earlier, destroying the Philosopher's Stone will bring Darkseid. So the next issue, the last issue of the
Before
book
we get
is actually
there, I want to talk about
go
how
ahead.
Batman outsmarts Metron to giving up his chair so Flash and Aquaman and Green Lantern can go.
yes, that's so cool.
Is it musical chairs?
No, I think it's better. So Batman's
Ooh,
like,
okay.
so you want to know everything in the universe? Well, I know something that you don't. And you're not ever going to know. And he's like, what is that? What could you possibly know that I don't? And Batman says, well, you don't know what it's like to be human. And he's like, foolish mortal. I can, with a minimal amount of my energy, I can turn myself human. And so he does it. And then he's like, I don't feel this pain that you guys feel. And then Batman punches him in the face. And he says, now you do. And Batman puts him on a sedative so that he will do whatever the Justice League wants him to do. And of course, Aquaman, Lantern, and Flash, they got to get back to our timeline. So they use him for that. And I loved it. Just Batman, just right there. What's up, new god? I'm going to punch you in the face now. And then afterwards,
It's great.
him and Wonder Woman have a big standoff against Darkseid, which was nice. And then eventually Green Arrow shoots Adam into Darkseid. Adam gets into his brain and starts wrecking stuff. all before the big bomb from Orion goes off. And then, it ends with Soups and Martian Manhunter outside of the actual Injustice Gang satellite that isn't super cloaked.
They're in the satellite.
Oh, they're in
They're in the satellite, and they have the stone in their hands. So we're like, uh-oh. The cover of the next issue is actually Batman holding back Superman and Manhunter. Says, no, if they don't escape, talking about Lex and Joker, the Earth is doomed. So let's get there. So we open up with that Hour Man guy, that strange time wizard, talking to somebody about the Philosopher's Stone and how this Philosopher's Stone isn't just a stone, it is a part of the source material of the universe, blah, 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 MacGuffin. We then see that Lex has it. He is in the middle of enacting his plan. So while the other stuff's happening 15 years in the future, this is happening now. Aztec is debating whether or not he's going to abandon ship and let Lex blow up the entire satellite. You have Batman is trying to figure out how to get to Lex. Superman and Martian Manhunter are going to Lex. They're going to get him. And on the Injustice Gang's ship, you see that somebody is calling to Lex. It's the Ocean Master. Says, hey, Ocean Master, do you have the Joker up there with you? And Lex is like, yeah, he's really annoying. He's up here annoying the alien. And he goes, Ocean Master says, are you sure that's the Joker? Because I'm looking at the Joker. He's tied up right here. And Lex is like, oh, okay. So you're not really the Joker. What are you, a clone or something? And he shoots the Joker in the face with just a real gun. But he cocks it all like gangster style to the side.
He sure does.
And the Joker explodes and blood shoots everywhere. But it's not blood. It's Elastic Man or Plastic Man. Plastic Man was pretending to be the Joker the entire time. He was one of the people who was up there working for Batman, along with the Mirror Master. And it turns out that the reason that the alien was getting restless is because Plastic Man was messing with the alien to mess with the alien's psychic powers. Lex is like, okay, cool. What are you going to do? How are you going to try to stop me? Green Arrow is then like, hey, turns out I'm not a bad guy. He's like, oh, okay. Could have seen that one coming. Then Mirror Master's like, hey, cool. I'm out. See you, Lex. And he pieces out. At this exact moment, Superman, Martian Manhunter, Batman show up and they're like, hey, we're here to stop you. And they're going to get they fight the Injustice Gang. Joker gets free and gets a gun. Plastic Man's super date rapey with Cersei, and it's really uncomfortable. I don't want to talk about it, so I'm going to skip it. And then you have Dr. Light does his stuff to try to win. It doesn't work. Lex Luthor does his thing to try to win. It doesn't work. You knew where this was going because the Justice League you knew was going to win. They end up getting the stone from Lex. They turn over to talk to the alien who has been mind controlling people, and the Joker shoots that alien in the back. Plastic Man takes out the Joker. Superman's like, all right, cool. I'm done with this. I'm destroying the stone. And as he goes to explode the stone with his heat, he doesn't have heat vision anymore. He has like this space blue lightning heat vision. Blah, 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 blah. Blue Superman's stupid. Martian Manhunter is like, no, stop. And he puts his hands around Superman's hands and stop. You can't do that. Which really, really hurts the Martian Manhunter. Superman's like, why did you do that? He goes, I literally just got a message from Green Lantern telepathically saying to not do that. Don't destroy the stone. And he goes, look. And he projects up the Green Lantern's face and Kyle's like, stop. If you destroy that thing, Darkseid's going to come. We were just there. It's so bad. Stop what you're doing. Stop it. And it's great. And Superman's like, okay. We won't. We will not destroy it. Relax. What's going on? They blow up the satellite. They arrest the Injustice Gang. But before they can figure out everything, they realize, this isn't really the stone. And they look over and Joker has the stone. They don't explain how, but he got it really quick. He just did. And he has the stone. And this stone is incredibly powerful. It could basically rewrite time and history if he wanted to. So Joker's like, what am I going to do with this? I'll do something crazy. Martian Manhunter then uses his psychic abilities to reshape the Joker's brain to be like a well-developed, typically developed brain. But he can only do it for so long. He can only hold this for so long before the brain has to revert back, because this is a lot of crazy that the Martian Manhunter is holding back. As he's doing this, Joker's facial features kind of reshape. He's like, what have I done? I I've done so many bad things. I can't, I'm a bad guy. I need to do something right with this stone. And Lex goes, hey, you should totally bring back all those people we killed at the beginning of the book at Star City. You should do that. Do that. Make them all come back like they were never dead. Joker goes, yeah, I'll do that. And he does. He brings all those people back to life. It's like the opening of the book never happened. None of those people died. And as he's finishing this, Flash grabs the stone because Joker's reverting back to being evil. Joker goes back to being totally evil. But they have the stone. They've saved the stone. Superman turns to Lex and is like, I don't know if this was you being a good person or you just trying to get out of being in trouble, because now we can't prosecute you on any crimes because technically nobody died. So he puts his hand out to shake Lex's hand. Lex goes to shake his hand and his hand goes right through. He goes, oops, I guess I'm not here. Sorry, Superman, I'm smarter than you. And Lex is gone. He was a hologram. But Lex did a good thing. But why did he do the good thing? That's the question. The real Metron then shows up, and he's the good Metron. And he takes the stone and goes, I'm going to take this. I'm going to make sure it's safe. Aztec and Martian Manhunter tried to save the alien, who was shot because he's an innocent bystander in all of this. Metron's like, hey, here's the deal. Y'all are absolute specks on the window of time for me. You don't matter. So I'm going to go through all of time again. And they're like, that's cool. That's kind of a rude thing to say, but see ya. Metron's going to go off here on a tangent that doesn't matter. So I'm not even going to talk about it because it's setting up the next arc and we're not going to read that arc, but I'm just letting you know I'm skipping it. We then see Superman gets to Lex and Lex is like, oh, you're pretty obsessed with me, aren't you, Superman? Why are you here talking to me right now? He's like, I don't know why you saved those people in Star City. I don't trust you, but I know there's good in you. So I'm just reminding you there's good in you. And Lex is like, is there? Shut up. Maybe I'm a bad guy. Maybe I have a soft side. Ooh, I'm going to release an R&B album soon.
I'd listen to that.
Back at the headquarters, I would too. It would be called I'll Make Lex to You.
Like I want me to?
Well, it looks like we have our first Patreon stretch goal.
Oh my God. Back at the tower, we see that behind closed doors is a meeting between the big three, or big 4, 5, 3. Batman, Superman, Aquaman are having a meeting. As that meeting is going on, outside, we see that Kyle Rayner's Green Lantern is talking to Green Arrow, and Green Arrow's like, I'm done. I'm quitting. I can't do this. I need to be an on-the-ground guy. This is a lot. I'm stressed. I'm not comfortable. I'm not happy. He's like, oh, man, but you were the new guy, which is, if you leave, I'm the new guy again. Ugh. Aztec's like, I'm also leaving because it turns out that everything I know in my entire life is a lie. Lex Luthor funded me. I think I might be evil, so I got to go check this out. And Green Arrow, or Green Lantern and Flash are both like, wow, this is a lot of stuff going on. As those conversations wrap up, Batman, Superman, and Aquaman come out and they go, hey, just so you guys know, we're disbanding the Justice League. And the issue ends.
Just like a heads up.
So that's the next issue. The new lineup is going to happen. Matt accidentally read that new lineup, during the reading of this book.
Yep, I did.
But it doesn't matter. We're not talking about it now. That's the end of Rock of Ages. Rock of Ages is such an interesting story. It's such a fun story. It's so good. I really liked it. I know it's got some stupid 90s stuff in it, but man, oh man, I think it still holds up very well.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really liked them incorporating the new gods because I know next to nothing about them. You could definitely tell some things were 90s tropes. Like Death the Black Racer being a cross-country skier.
Actually, that's from the 60s.
Okay. Well, that's still ridiculous.
He's always been that.
To think that he's a
cross-country. The 90s. Everyone was cross-country skiing everywhere.
Point is, it was ridiculous because when you think of, because we've seen Death in other incarnations and he's, this kind of mortifying ghost creature, and then you just see him, he's just a guy, right, with skis and just he's just shuffling his way to get you. It's cool, don't worry about it.
I'm going to get you.
Of course, if you watch the Winter Olympics, when they do the cross country ski stuff, the announcers lose their minds.
Oh yeah,
think You think it's the second coming of Jesus every time.
I got to assume it's very entertaining or very impressive. I don't know.
It's not the most fun to watch.
No, it sure isn't, but it's very hard. I know that.
Yeah.
Now, John, you didn't get to read the book, but what did you think of the story as I described? Does it sound interesting to you? Does it sound like something you would want to read or you would recommend to somebody who's looking for a good book?
Definitely. It's all the more interesting now that we're on the other side of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We get to kind of...
So you gotta wonder how much of this stuff would have been if any of this would have been in like the Nightmare stuff.
Yeah.
I think a good chunk of it, right? Because you have Darkseid took over Earth in alternate timeline in the future.
Yeah.
Like it had to at least run inspiration at the bare minimum.
Yeah, Lois is dead, which causes Superman to... Granted, in this, he kills himself, but the other one...
He also wouldn't have been made of blue lightning.
Yeah, he wasn't made of blue lightning. I still don't really understand, but whatever.
Here's the thing. I looked it up and tried to find research. I still don't understand.
And like
I think you're fine.
He kept bringing up all these new powers that Superman has, and we only really got to see him read that disc on the CD, which causes the bomb to blow up. Otherwise, everything else seems pretty cut and dry, what with using heat vision.
Yeah. It was dumb.
And like in the beginning with him, like, wait, these guys are made out of energy. I absorb energy. And, energy Superman just flies right into him.
But these are my favorite Green Lanterns and my favorite Flash. Wally West is my favorite Flash, and Kyle Rayner is my favorite Green Lantern. So we got that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's Rock of Ages. I honestly give it a 10 out of 10. I love this book so much, even with its tropey 90s-ness.
Yeah, it was fun. I'd probably go like an 8. It was a good time.
Sure.
Plastic Man brings that down a bit because I don't like him. I don't.
That's the right side of history. Is that he's garbage.
Yep.
It's very hard to get me to care about a character with the stretchy superpowers. I think they're dumb. I enjoy Kamala because she actually has a personality, but like Reed Richards,
well, she doesn't just stretch. She doesn't just stretch.
Yeah, she
like that's not the only thing she does.
Like Reed Richards, I'm like, what? Okay, we get it. You're stretchy.
But Reed is the smart guy who can stretch, right? Like Plastic Man just stretches.
Yeah, he just stretches, and he's weird, and I hate his outfit, and I just don't like Plastic Man.
And he's definitely date rapey.
Yeah.
He's creepy with women. I don't like him.
Not a Plastic Man guy.
Nope. No worship. You can like the elongated man. Oh, nope, because that's the whole identity crisis thing. We don't like anybody. Me and all my friends hate stretchy guys. Stretchy guys. See, I said guys.
Yeah.
Although guys is gender neutral. I say guys is gender neutral term. We don't like stretchy men. How's that?
There we go.
We stand Kamala on this podcast. John has a really cool Kamala Khan fan edit Twitter that you should check out. It's like a BTS fan edit Twitter, but it's only Kamala Khan.
Do it?
You're getting one for a Patreon stretch goal.
Seems like something I've known about by now.
Better get to work.
Oh, man. Better get to work. We also better get to the outro. And that is the podcast this week, gentlemen. Good times, fun times. Next week, we are watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier episodes 1, 2, and 3.
AKA Bird and Bucky.
Bird and
Buck.
Featuring
It's
fire
gonna be real
dance
good.
moves from Mr. Zemo.
Daniel Bruhl bringing the fire.
That's I totally blanked on the name.
I love Daniel Bruhl.
Release the Zemo dance cut.
Let's go.
God, stop. Stop with the hashtags.
but like they only show like a millisecond of him dancing, and apparently it's significantly longer.
It is not much. It's
so goofy.
It's going to be on Instagram at some point.
I would be surprised if it was 3 seconds. Like, it is not much.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. It'll be fine.
But that's neither here nor there.
Right.
We can talk about that more next week.
Absolutely, we can. So next week we're doing that. I think we're good to go. I think we have our Patreon is coming soon. Very, very soon. It's going to be a couple of tiers. We're going to hammer those out together off mic. But if you're looking to support the podcast anyway, honestly, the best way you can support us for free is to listen to us wherever you can. Like the podcast, rate and review it. That's huge for us. But honestly, just talk about it with your friends. Share it. Hey, 3 white guys talking about comic books. It's a pretty niche market, I know. But hey,
it's never been
if you
done
know somebody
before.
likes podcasts, please share it with us. But if you would like to support us monetarily in any way, we will have very low tiers available, as low as $1 a month. But anything you can support us with would be super helpful. It costs money to host this. It costs money to buy the books. And I know that's not your problem, fans, but it is our problem, and we would love your help in solving said problem. But we do this. We don't do this for money. We do this because we love doing it. So, like I said, the best way you can support us is just by listening, and we appreciate all of you. But that'll do it for this week.
Please spread the mediocre word of our podcast.
Yes. And until we have enough money to make, basically to cover hosting this podcast by the books, we will have to continue to sell ad space. So we will end this with our ad for this week. You have a good one, and make sure to stay safe. We love you. Bye.
Bye. Oh no, it's 1998. I have to get to a cross-country ski competition all the way across the country, but I already spent 45 minutes opening this email.
Bummer.
Isn't there a better way?
Hey, kid, I heard you're looking for a better way to get to point B from point A.
Say what?
Yeah, I have a ski competition halfway across the country. Cross-country.
Tubular.
Then boy, do I have some good news for you. Alpha Flight, you know them. You take those planes. They last about 7 hours. It's a good time.
That's the email I was opening.
Well, now they've patented some cool, fresh new technology.
The boom tube.
Oh boy.
That's right, the boom tube. You'll get to where you need to go before you even think about going.
Boom tube? What's that? Sounds expensive.
It's not expensive at all. All you need is a mother box and some time. And by that, I mean you'll need no time at all.
No time at all.
But that's how much time I have. Sounds great, disembodied voice.
That's right, with our patented technology that opens the portals between time and space. You can get from point A to point B in style.
Boom.
That's right, coming to you, the boom tube.
Not available in all 50 states, especially Alaska. Like seriously, that place is cold as hell. Will give you many different side effects, including anti-life. Anti-life will make you lose all free will. Free will. Is it really that important? Cost, very high. Probably your life. Cannot transport you somewhere you don't know that you need to go to. Make sure you know where you're going. Again, not available in Alaska.
What do you mean it was last week?
The cross-country ski that we sent you the email.
I don't have another hour to open an email.
Bogus.
Thanks, 1998.
The boom tube. Go now.
Rock on, that's the podcast this week.
Dark Side is. You can follow us on Twitter at Talking Trades. Follow Jeremy on Twitter at LizardKing27. You can find John on Twitter at Maesterlaka, Maesterlaka. And for this and other projects from Matt, please check out Facebook at Matt Spina Music. And remember, we're not experts, we're fans.